Alright everybody, welcome back to this video tutorial series on parking spots in Say Intentions Taxi Tuner version 4. Today this is part 3 and we will be talking about one of the main tools I use when I taxi tune any new airport, and that is FlightAware. If you're not familiar with FlightAware, it is a free website. It has information on pretty much any flight you could ever think of, and in fact, I believe Say Intentions gets its flight information from FlightAware. So all the AI traffic that you see in Say Intentions, the data comes from FlightAware. At least as of now, or as of recently, it did. But anyway, jumping right into it, the first thing I'll do when I tune any airport. So let's go to LAX. You'll type it in, you'll hit enter. You'll be faced with this page. And you'll go through and you can see there's arrivals, departures, en route aircraft or aircraft that are scheduled to... Actually, I'm sorry, somehow I got into Atlanta. That's fine, we'll use Atlanta. But you'll see aircraft that are scheduled to Atlanta or scheduled departures. You can click on more and it'll expand this, and you can see, it goes out. You can click next 40. You can see thousands or hundreds of these flights. And in order to do that, you need a free account. Without an account, you can still see some, but you can go, if you just sign up and create a free account, you can go out really far in the past, and you can actually go out quite a ways into the future as well with the scheduled flights. So I definitely recommend signing up for a free account. Now going back to the main page at Atlanta here. In the past, one of the downsides of FlightAware was the map view. As you can see, it was next to useless in terms of figuring out who parks where, what airlines park at what terminals, etc. And that's because the aircraft on the ground doesn't show up. We only see aircraft in the air. Now, FlightAware has this amazing new feature. It's in beta, but you'll hit this blue button here called Check It Out. And that'll bring you to this page. And right off the bat, you can see we can now see aircraft on the ground. And it may take a few seconds to load. And it's not that busy here right now because it's almost midnight. But all the blue aircraft are arrivals. All the green aircraft are departures. Now the green aircraft, the departures, you'll see them, they'll push back from the gate. They will depart. And then once they depart, they're gone. You'll see them across the world wherever they are. But you won't see them at the gate anymore once they push back. So they're not really that helpful for determining gates. I guess you could, like for this one, you could just hover over it and you can see, okay, a Delta wide body. So a Delta large is at gate Foxtrot 4. And you could go really quick to your Excel file and just plug in Foxtrot 400 Delta real quick if you wanted, but you drive yourself nuts doing that for every departure. So what I do is I will let this run for a few hours, or if it's a big airport, even for 6 hours or more, I'll just let it run. And what you'll notice is the blue aircraft, the arrivals, stack up. They don't go away. And then after a period of time, so it's 2 or 6 hours or so, or even longer, the whole airport will be populated with arrivals at the gates, and you'll be able to quickly go see, you'll get a great overview of the entire airport, of a wide variety of airlines, of who parks where. And then you can go through on that and add it into your Excel spreadsheet. And as an example, this is Charlotte. I tuned Charlotte the other week. this is what it looked like when I pulled up FlightAware. You can see there's a lot of departures at this time, not so many arrivals. Now, after waiting about 2 hours, this is what it looked like. You can see I have a ton of arrivals at all the gates. A lot of them stacked, some of them stacked up. So you can see I have 2 on top of each other. That's because in that time period, 2 aircraft parked at this gate. And you can hover over these aircraft and see, and then you can go. The gates are labeled, so Charlie 5, etc. They're all labeled. So you can then go into your Excel spreadsheet and put in each of the gates for the airlines really quick. But it's also just good for a general overview, so you can quickly see. That'll give you an idea if one concourse only is regional, or if one concourse is only Delta, or if another concourse, if a variety of airlines use it. It gives you a very quick idea, so that when you go further into detail, you'll know what to look for, and you'll know, okay, like just looking at that. So if I go back to like Charlotte. So here at Charlotte, I can't hover over this image because it's just a screenshot, but all these up in this concourse were American regional. So I know basically, just by keeping it open for 2 hours, I know that essentially this entire concourse here, the E gates, should be assigned to American regional affiliates and not mainline American. And I also know as a result of that I should set all of those to a gate small. And then I know that this concourse, so the Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta gates, are practically all American mainline. I did not see any American regionals parked there. So you can basically set all of these to American, and I will go through and I'll just set, since mediums are the most common, I will set all those to medium, and then I will go through individually and set the ones that are heavy to a gate large individually. And then I found out that the other airlines like United, Delta, Spirit, Frontier, they parked at these other terminals up here. So this FlightAware is a great tool for getting a general overview and a general sense of where each aircraft parks at any particular airport. Now what we will do is, let me show you an example in Europe. This is going to be one of the things you need to watch out for in FlightAware. So for example, if I go to, let's see here, if I go to like Munich, I'll pull up Munich. This is one thing you need to watch out for. So their gates are labeled over there as well, but they're labeled as like Kilo 14, Kilo 16, Kilo 18. And that's what it's going to be if you were in the airport walking to your gate. Those are what the signs would say in the airport going to your gate. Well, we're not, as a pilot, you don't see that. Like in Europe, the markings on the ground, the markings on the chart are going to be different than those in the terminal at a lot of airports in Europe. So for example, those ones that were like Kilo 14 or whatever they were, on the charts and on the ground, they'd be like gate 310 and 309. So it's completely different. You have to watch out for that, because if you just go through on FlightAware and on your Excel spreadsheet for like Lufthansa or whatever, if you just type in Kilo 14, Kilo 16, Kilo 18, when you go into say intentions and you go and assign those, you're not going to be able to find any gates Kilo 14, 16, or 18, and you're not going to know where the gate is. So when you tune in the airport, when you get when you get data on FlightAware, cross-check with the Navigraph chart or whatever airport chart you're using, and just make sure that when you go and fill in your Excel spreadsheet, make sure you use the gate number that is on the charts or in Navigraph, because if it doesn't match, it's going to cause all kinds of headaches for you later. So that's the big pitfall to watch out for with FlightAware. And that completes this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. In the next video, we're going to talk about FlightRadar 24, which is the primary tool I use. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. We'll talk to you in the next one. Thanks.